So how do you stop sounding salesy? How do you stop sounding salesy? Well, to do it, you've got to understand where salesiness comes from in the first place and why we do it. And that's what we're talking about in today's episode 675 of the Daily Sales Message Podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff too. Now, this whole salesy thing comes from inauthenticity, being somebody or something that you're not. What we don't seem to quite grasp when it comes to sales and selling, because we're intimidated by it, quite rightly, is that selling is just a conversation with money at the end. If we treat a selling conversation just as a conversation, we're not attached to the outcome. So we'll be a lot more relaxed about what's going on. And we focus on the needs of the other person and we allow them to be in control. The traditional thinking on selling to people is always be closing, and if you don't close them and they'll close you, and it's very adversarial. It's me versus you, and it doesn't. Maybe it worked many years ago. It doesn't really work these days. The way I hopefully I come across as unsalesy, you can tell me that, but the way I attempt to be non-salesy is I'm authentic, I'm truthful. I allow my buyer, my listener in this case, to be in control. So I make you aware that you are in control of what you're doing. I'm not going to say, so would you like to pay cash or card? If you would like to go ahead, blah, 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 but the decision is yours. So I'm always kind of gently pushing people back and saying, I'd love to work with you. I'd love to supply you, but there we go. So I make sure the buyer feels in control, but I treat it like a conversation with money at the end. I'm not really stuck on the outcome. I want to focus on the communication piece. Do you understand my offering? Is it actually right for you? All I've got to do is help you make the best decision possible for yourself. And that could be to buy from me. That could not be to buy from me. And I'm okay either way. But that is how we stop sounding salesy, by being authentic, being there, having a genuine interest and a care for what's in the best interest of the person you're talking to. And just last week, I spoke to somebody. They're a startup, early stage. They're pre-revenue. I said, look, I'd love to take the money off you, but I think you need to prove this thing works first of all, and then we'll worry about doing the messaging piece afterwards. So I sent them packing. I refused to sell to them ultimately, because that's the authentic, ethical thing to do. And that is how you stop sounding salesy. You behave like a human being. You treat things like a conversation, and you focus on communication, because when you do that, conversion takes care of itself. Right, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end, as my camera cut out there, I saw. Tomorrow in episode 676, 2-word question that your buyer will be thinking. They might not ask it, but they'll be thinking. Very important to accelerating the sale and closing the deal. So we'll talk about that in tomorrow's episode. In the meantime, thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end. I do appreciate it. I'll catch you tomorrow for a slightly mysterious edition of the Daily Sales Message.